Well, that's more like it today at St James's Park, ladies and gentlemen. It finishes Newcastle United 4, Leicester City 0. A complete drubbing of Leicester, who, well, are going to struggle against relegation this season if they play like that. And again, they were awful. However, that's not taking anything away from us today. We needed to go out there after last week against Brentford and put in a performance. Put in a good performance, score a few goals, just basically get the feel-good factor back ahead of what is going to be a very tough game against Brentford in the Cup on Wednesday. And then, of course, moving on to Portman Road next weekend, which is going to be a difficult game again. But games that you can see us winning if we play like that. The professionalism was back today. We got a couple of goals and we didn't sit back and let Leicester have the ball. We kept on at them the whole game. We didn't give them anything on the ball. And the goals we scored today were really good. Some of the football we played was really good. The passing, the movement, it all came together today. And listen, you can only go out and beat what's in front of you. So it doesn't really matter how you think Leicester City performed. The fact is, we performed well. There was some excellent performances out there today. Jacob Murphy, who I thought was outstanding again, despite weirdly getting criticism in our Matchday Live chat. Some people criticizing him for the 2 left-foot shots that he had, the fact that he didn't score. Well, let me put it another way. A couple of weeks ago, we were very critical of Newcastle United players for not even trying to shoot. Yet Jacob Murphy gets the ball and he's trying to shoot on his left. He's trying on his right. He ends up with 2 goals today and an assist. And for me, man of the match. Lewis Hall, a very close second behind him, but Lewis Hall more for going forward because our defence just wasn't tested today. Everybody was worried about Dubravka coming in, of course, for the injured Nick Pope. It didn't matter today because, well, he had hardly any touches of the ball, certainly with his hands. He had a bit to do with his feet when we knocked it back to him, but there was no pressure on him the whole game. And it was very, very easy for our back four and goalkeeper today. And like I say, it's more for going forward. Cher and Byrne, their main job today was get the ball and play it forward and let's get on the attack. The 3 in midfield, I thought were excellent today. Toon Army, Bruno, and Joe Linton all put in a shift, all did the job. And, of course, Bruno getting the second goal today. The goals were really good. I mean, that goal we scored in the first half, we've been very critical of Newcastle United and the set pieces in the past. The set pieces were excellent today. And that first goal topped it off. That was a training ground goal if ever I've seen one. And then, of course, it ends up with Gordon pulling a lovely ball back to the edge of the box. And Jacob Murphy's first-time shot with his right foot was beautifully delivered into the bottom corner. A lovely goal for the second one as well. Free kick floated over. Hall knocks it back across. And, of course, Bruno nods it in. Then Isak gets in on the act with a little header as well. And then, of course, Murphy tops it off by rifling a shot through the legs of the keeper into the back of the net after just prior missing a great opportunity when he blasted it. I think the keeper got a touch on that, to be honest. But nevertheless, he should have scored. But he could have had more than, he could have had a hat-trick. He could have had 4 today. Isak could have had a hat-trick. Missing another one-on-one. I mean, one-on-ones, you normally, with Isak going through, you'd be putting your mortgage on him to score. But he missed one at Brentford last week. And then again, this one today in the first half. A very powder puff effort. Brilliant through ball from Joe Linton. And a very, very disappointing finish. But then you've won 4-0. So we can't be too overly critical with these players because I think today was just job done. It was a job that we needed to do. The pressure was on because a lot of people complaining about not being able to perform against these lower league sides. Well, I think that was put to bed today because we absolutely did we swept Leicester aside. But we kept on going at them. There wasn't the attitude of, well, we've got 1 or 2 goals here. Let's just sit back now. Let's soak up the pressure. None of that today. We went at Leicester from the start, went at them completely professionally, and they didn't have an answer. They did not have an answer for us today. But very, very, very good. And this puts us in a really good mindset moving forward to Wednesday night. You know, Brentford, they will play a strong side. It's the quarterfinal of the Cup. We needed to do this today after the thumping we got at Brentford last week. For Wednesday night's game, we needed to put a good mindset ahead of that game. And tonight, we did exactly that. You know, it wasn't just the goals we scored either. Some of the passing and movement was excellent today. You know, Lewis Hall getting the ball, bringing it into midfield, laying it off to one of our midfielders, and then we start an attack. We switched play really nicely throughout the game. But Lewis Hall going forward for me, him and Anthony Gordon, that partnership that they can end up with. And I'm not just talking about club level here either, guys. I'm talking about, international level. Playing together constantly down that left-hand side can only benefit Newcastle and in the end benefit England. But for me, it benefits Newcastle first, of course. Seeing Lewis Hall overlap, so you don't know whether Gordon is going to slide it through to Lewis Hall or cut in on his right. He did both today, which I was glad to see, because if there's been any criticism of Gordon on that left-hand side, it's the fact he doesn't sometimes see Lewis Hall making the overlap. But he did today. So the Leicester defence did not have a clue if he was going down the line or he was cutting in. And I thought everything just clicked. But this has to be the start of it now. We can't just keep saying this, that we've had a really good game, and then the next game, it's inconsistent again. And the good thing for me is the players know that this inconsistency is hanging over us and that we need to do something about that. So I'm pretty confident that the players will go out there on Wednesday and they will go out there at the weekend and still go at it. And it's not just this, we can only perform against the top club crap. Let's lose that. Because I think today we've sent out a message that we can perform against the lower league sides and we can play really well and score some fantastic goals. But we have to take that forward into the game on Wednesday. And personally, I think we will. I think Brentford are going to come up looking for the same Newcastle that was at the G-Tech last week, and it's not going to be that. It's going to be a very much more a professional Newcastle United side, in my opinion, than the one we saw down there. And again, this has to be the kickstart. No more inconsistencies. We've had enough of it. This has to kickstart our season. And let's just hope it does. Very, very positive. So, looking forward to the Cup quarter-final now. But that is it for the reaction. As usual, let me know down below in the comments what you thought of the game, who stood out for you, who didn't do too well, or do you just think it was a professional performance that we really needed? Let me know down below. And of course, don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Sunday evening, for the match review, where we'll take a more in-depth view of the game and give you, of course, the all-important player ratings. So lots coming up on the Toon Review, so please do get yourself subscribed if you're new to the channel. And if you have enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. Very important we keep those coming in. And also a massive thank you to our sponsors, Mamaroo Records. If you're ever in Whitley Bay, please visit them. They're right in the town centre. Vinyl, CDs, music merchandise, sporting merchandise, gift cards. They've got it all. If you can't get into the store in Whitley Bay, please go and visit the website, which is pinned at the top of the description, and mention that you're a TTR viewer, and I'm sure Steve will do you a fantastic deal. So a big thanks again to Mamaroo Records for the sponsorship. But that's it. It's nice to have a Saturday evening with a Newcastle United win, and looking forward to our Cup quarter-final on Wednesday. But until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Take care.